Good morning, Mindsetters, and welcome to this episode of the Mindset Talk with me, your host, Michelle Green. I am a life coach with a psychology background. I'm also an author, and my goal with this podcast is to be a source of truth, clarity, and transformation to as many as I possibly can. I truly believe that the right mindset in any circumstance can and will transform every aspect of your life in the most profound and positive ways. And that's why I coach around mindset. Today, I want to talk to you about grief. There are 5 stages of grief. There's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. And we don't have to go through each stage in order to heal. Grief is a natural response to loss. And there is no right or wrong way to grieve your loss. Grief is defined as the emotional suffering felt when someone or something is taken away. The pain of loss and grief can also disrupt our physical health. How you feel physically can be affected by your grief. The more significant the loss, the more intense the grief. And let me be clear, there are many different losses that we as humans grieve for. The loss of a relationship, such as a divorce or a breakup. Loss of one's health. Loss of a job. Loss of a friendship. And one I know all too well, the death of a spouse. Even the subtle losses in life can trigger a sense of grief. Whatever your loss is, it's personal to you. And don't ever feel ashamed about how you feel or how you are feeling, or ever feel the need to justify to anyone how you choose to grieve your loss. Please, people, in the midst of your grief, do not fall into the trap of believing that there is an appropriate way to grieve your personal loss. Because I'm here to tell you that there is not. Grieving is a highly individual experience. And again, there is no right or wrong way. And how we move through our grief depends on so many factors. Depends on our personality. Depends on what kind of mindset you're working with. Depends on your coping styles. How do you cope with certain things? It depends on your life experiences. Have you experienced loss before, and how did you deal with it in the past? Depends on your faith. What do you believe in? What don't you believe in? What do you have faith in? Right? And how significant the loss is to you. It also depends on that, because only you can gauge that, how significant the loss is to you. There is no normal timetable for grieving. I'm going to repeat that again for whoever needs to hear that this morning. There is no normal timetable for grieving. Some will start to feel better in months, maybe even weeks. Whereas for others, the process is measured in years. Your grief is your own personal experience, and although people may want to help you and support you through it, which is always wonderful to have support, although people might want to help you through it and support you through it, the journey through that grief is yours and yours alone. And it is very important as you move through your grief, that you do not let anyone make you feel less than because you are not grieving in the way that they deem appropriate. Don't let them make you feel less than. The grief is a personal journey. The grieving process is a personal journey, and it's very, very important to let it naturally unfold. Go through the stages as you may and let it naturally unfold. And do not let anybody tell you that how you are grieving is correct or incorrect. Let it naturally unfold. Short and sweet this morning for this episode. I was moved this morning. This wasn't even my topic, but I was moved this morning to speak to somebody out there about grief and share my experience of moving through it in my own personal way. So I was moved to share that with you this morning. So short and sweet, just like me. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you. If you feel that this episode will help, heal, resonate with anyone who you know and love, please feel free to share it. I would appreciate your comments. I love feedback. And I would also appreciate that you pop on over to Amazon and pick up a copy of my book, It Wasn't Luck, an inspirational story of love and loss. In this book, I do share my experience of grief and going through that process and coming out on the other side. So it's available on Amazon. And until next time, mindsetters, stay mindful.